Okay, everyone, after a short break, we're back for the final, and it's a case of Bailey wins. It's Paul Bailey who's playing against John Bailey. John Bailey going for a 3-time win. Paul Bailey having come to Rhos Park and enjoying the hospitality, and he's certainly enjoying the Welsh air, because it's not often that somebody coming first time to the green is now playing in the final. But that's how well Paul's played this evening. So it should be a cracking final, and I'm joined by one of the game's greats, real character, great friend of ours, and that is the phenomenon that's Callum Wraight. Callum, how do you see this final going?
Good evening, Roger. That's the nicest thing everyone's said about me, I think. How do I see it going? I think obviously you've got to make John, I think, a big favourite, just based on the green knowledge alone, really. As obviously you can see from the screen, he's probably going to hit straight for that edge, that bottom edge that he seems to play, but it's hard to shift anywhere on here. He's got such a good length all over the green, and I do think that Paul might be up against it, really. But yeah, Paul's played well, hasn't he? First time seeing the green. I think he's played marvellous, to be fair, tonight.
He has definitely, and you'd have played these guys many times. John, a great friend of yours as well, and I'm sure you've played Paul. Is there anything we should look out for in the final in terms of tactics, the way they play the game? How do you see the styles clashing?
Well, two of them are very good friends of mine, actually. To be fair, I've played with both of them in the pairs in the Isle of Man the last 2 years. So yeah, I know both their games inside out. As I'm sure everybody's aware, John's bowls are very much on the weak side of things. Yep. So he plays a couple of marks on here that just fade back to the jack a lot, so he can obviously get inside everywhere with his weak tackle. But I don't know, really. I mean, it surprised me straight away that John's hasn't headed down his edge. I thought he'd have gone there, but he's obviously thinks maybe he can catch Paul in the corners, judging by the looks of it, very first time he has done as well. But Paul predominantly doesn't really normally go too far. He likes to play sort of about a 30 yard mark everywhere he goes. A lot of greens he plays the same sort of marks,
Maybe that was in John's thinking then, starting off by going into the corners.
Yeah, it seems to have worked as well, doesn't it? I played John, just cutting across, I played John in the final of this event 2016, so 7 years ago now. And I got a good lead on him early doors. I went about 14-3 up, but he did all the damage coming back to me on these corners where he is now. So it doesn't surprise me that he's headed for them. He obviously likes these.
I remember that final like it was yesterday, Callum.
Do you?
Brilliant final. Oh,
it was a good
final. Really entertaining.
Yeah.
It's a game that had everything. So.
I've watched your commentary back as well a few times. I thought you did a tremendous job.
Yeah. Oh no, please.
Absolutely.
We thoroughly enjoyed that final. It was great to see you going toe to toe, and obviously it was your year that year, and
it's difficult when you're so close friends, obviously. Yeah. See again, he's just caught Paul off road, hasn't he? With that left swing, and obviously with the weak tackle, it can be very difficult following John, as I'm sure you're aware.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and Paul's got to adjust that in his mind. He's got to find his, as well as try and find the length. And the green's changing all the time. I mean, you'll obviously know how it gets slower.
Honestly,
as the evening goes on.
Yeah, this next half an hour, it'll die probably 2 or 3 yards. It will.
Yeah.
As you've seen from obviously previous years' finals.
It does tend to go really heavy, doesn't it?
Yeah, it can do. Yeah.
And say Paul, it's all new to Paul. This particular green. But anyways, he's in and leading out now, 2-1 down.
And again, just going back to what I said earlier, this is probably Paul's length. What he's playing now, this is the kind of length he plays on most greens he goes on. Really, likes to play over the crown on a green as well.
Yeah. The found one here, Callum, I think.
Yeah, he's had a good one here, yeah.
Excellent lead from Paul Bailey.
John's after it. He might just go under with these weak tackle at the end, I think. Yeah, just dive, doesn't he, on him? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, the length was good. And the green, once again, the team here at Rhos Park got the green in magnificent condition, haven't they?
Well, I think obviously you probably mentioned it a few times tonight, have you? But I think, yeah, all the people at Rhos Park deserve tremendous praise, really, for not just obviously the groundsman. I think he's done a superb job, but all the catering facilities. I've been here for the week for the festival. And they're second to none here.
Oh, it's a real team effort then.
Yeah, it's fantastic, really.
And you're a regular now, aren't you? You come every year to the festival, and a few finals tomorrow, is it?
I'm in the big one. Yeah, I managed to win it last year, the George Davis. So I'm having a go at trying to defend the title, but I've got all these local yokels, against me, so it might be difficult, but I'll give it my best shot.
I remember you saying last year, I've got no chance. I've got no chance in the final day. And lo and behold, the silverware just gets attracted to you like a magnet, Callum. So I'm sure you'll be there or thereabouts again, mate.
We're doing my best. Don't worry about that. I'll be making myself a nuisance.
Yes. And providing a lot of entertainment en route.
I
as
hope
well.
we did tonight.
Oh, you did. That's quarter-final. I have to say that quarter-final game.
Good game of bowls, really.
We covered extensively the end of that quarter-final, and it was fabulous, absolutely fabulous. And
I just hope the commentary is as good as the end.
Well, can we live up?
The last 5 ends were very good, but so you've got some going.
Can we live up to it? So that was myself and Mr. Reeves. You'll have to listen back to it and see if we were sort of like commenting on what you were going to do with your second to last end bowl, and thinking, well, what do you do here, Duncan? Do you play one, or do you try and sit the ball out? What do you try and do? And to hit the jack, because that's the only shot you had.
The ball's no good. The jack was clean.
Phenomenal hit. So no, great entertainment, Callum.
Yeah, it was a good game.
Full value, absolutely.
Anyway, back to this final.
Yes,
John just got in there and played a good one. Gone back for this corner again. I'm surprised that he hasn't gone down his edge. Again, you'll know this, and being somebody who uses their left hand ever so well, I think that John, you'll notice that what John does along that bottom edge, he hooks him up the green, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And if you're a right-hander, you're automatically forced underneath, aren't you?
Yeah.
Especially again if you've not got strong bowls. And I thought John might have just gone there just to pinch a few cheap chalks straight off.
Yes, he's obviously decided he's going to go long.
Yeah, and Paul's got in, hasn't he?
Yes, he has. So it may change as the game develops, but at the moment there's nothing for John to change his mind just yet. But he may do.
I don't think he's going with this, is he, or not?
I think they run so well, these bowls of John's.
Oh, no,
they just are incredibly good running bowls all over it. What a bowl! That's the other thing about John's bowls. Maybe it's the weaker bias in them, but they just run so well.
What a good effort from Bales, unlucky.
From Bales,
just half a bowl underneath there, good effort on the other peg. Yeah, it is difficult really to tip John's bowls. Obviously, them old Henselites, and they generally they do run forever and ever, don't they?
They do. They're worth their weight in gold to him. Crikey, he's played for them for many years, and some players swap and change bowls. Have you ever done that, Callum, in terms of sort of play different bowls, different weights, different biases? Or
unfortunately, Roger, I've been doing it all season actually.
Right. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, not intentionally.
No.
The bowls I played with tonight actually, one of those actually went completely in half.
Did it?
Back in the last season,
Okay.
So I've been scratching around trying to find a new set, and I still can't find one. So it's a miracle they've been put back together and managed to get back in decent condition. But they're never going to be right. What a good lead that is, by the way. Full in from John.
Lead.
Fantastic lead that is.
John's really going into overdrive now, striding after his leads.
I always find when it's so close to the edge here, you're caught in two minds really. It's a great effort from Paul, isn't it? What a super effort.
An effort. That's really a phenomenal effort from Paul.
If he goes off the green there, then he's almost got no shot with his second bowl, has he?
It's so accurate on this green. And your finals are all here, I believe, at Rhos Park tomorrow.
I think it's the first time, I believe, that they've had the finals here.
So
but it's a fitting venue, isn't it, to hold the finals day.
It is.
JB likes this. He's straight up after it.
Oh,
What a good effort this is, by the way, to nearly
played
pair up.
He's played another Callum.
Wow.
Absolutely phenomenal balls.
Wow.
Brilliant. John Bailey really going through the gears here now.
Well, they're two wonderful bowls, they are. I mean, he's my best mate. I wouldn't tell him, obviously, but I mean, they are two fantastic bowls.
Fabulous bowls.
Yeah.
Well, Paul's given it every chance. He's certainly reached. He's looking at it.
Just a bowl underneath. Won't
Just
come with the
the
pace,
speed,
will it?
yeah.
Just the speed held it down.
Yeah.
I think the good thing, I've just been having a chat with Daniel, and obviously commending everyone at Rhos Park, but obviously Daniel's the main brains behind this, and it was quite emotional there, Roger. I don't know if you obviously watched the speech that he's just given on the green before this final. I mean, it almost had me welling up, really, to be fair, because you can just see how close him and Craig were, best pals, and obviously the amount of hard work and effort he's put into this, you know, just for obviously the cause it's for, and how much obviously means for him and Craig's family. I think it's a testament to Dan, really, just what a cracking job he's done with this. You can see, can't you, the raw emotion in him, and how much it means to him.
I couldn't agree with you more.
But I do think it's
and these
brilliant.
things don't just happen, you know. The work in the background that goes into making these events happen. Dan's such a bowls enthusiast, but this is real love. Putting this on every year.
Yeah, I think the good thing is obviously it's been well supported by the bowlers, but I do think as well it's been well supported by a lot of people that I've just been walking around the green then, and I've come across people that have just travelled down just for this. They're not in the festival, but they've come. I mean, I just come across Tony Gatley there, who's obviously, as you'll know, from Grange Valley Amusements.
Yes.
He does an awful lot for this sport, puts a lot of money into the game, really, through his company.
Great sponsor.
But he's a fantastic guy. But again, he's sort of come all the way from Warren just to watch this event tonight, and there's a lot of people like Tony that have come just for this event. Yeah. And I think that again is testament to Dan. What a good event it is. It's brilliant.
Yeah. How he brings people together, how he makes things happen, raising money for great army charities. This year it's Change Step, and you know, it's absolutely he is a force of nature, Daniel, making things happen, and it's great. It's great that people really go out of the way, travel a long way to support this event and make it the success that it is.
Absolutely.
So Paul got in there in that corner, so now he's
changed the game here, trying to come down an edge. I think that's it's a completely different move, isn't it?
Yes. I'm surprised he's gone for the edge at this stage. But I thought he might have gone up across the crown, but
maybe he's difficult edge this. I mean, I've only played it once. I remember playing Greg Smith here in the semi-final.
I remember that game.
That was some game. Yeah, I remember you commentating on that.
Yes.
And it's
thoroughly
it can be a bit of a cranky edge, this edge.
Yes.
To be fair, especially with the right and left hand. You know, I remember I nicked quite a few cheap chalks on it.
You did,
you know, because of the difference in deliveries. Really,
you played it well. You played it well. It was a brilliant game to commentate on again.
Paul seems to have done himself over there, hasn't he? And John knew what to do. You know, because of that. This end, a prime example of John's green knowledge. You know, he knew with his weak balls he could get above it and they'd fade back to it.
Fall off the ridge.
He's done the same with this, I think. Paired up.
Yeah.
Two good balls there from John. Yeah. Do you think he'll go straight into that dish corner where they walk in down there?
He plays that. He tends to play that corner very well. So I don't see why not. And again, if you've got bowls that aren't quite the right bias in this, and he knows where to set them, they can go all over the place through the dips.
They can, but again, I know John will play this mark. You know, my finger and yours and his thumb, knowing full well he doesn't want to get underneath with his weak bowls. He can go inside the jack and they'll just fade back to it. I think again he's done what he didn't want to do and go bowl underneath there.
Just good length.
Good length, yeah, but you can't get underneath in that corner, can you?
No.
You get underneath, they won't come.
You see the difference now.
Difference in the bias in the bowl here.
This is climbing up to the jack.
This is on the same sort of road, and it's peg for him, hasn't it? For Paul.
Yeah.
Probably just stayed in,
Counting with that.
I wonder if he's gone down there again, Roger, or not, no?
It looks low to me. It's not there, I don't think, Callum.
Again, though, these big bowls are big, aren't they?
Yeah.
you're right though.
Yeah,
Stopping
just
quick.
With the green changing as well.
Yeah. DT's having a look.
Oh,
Yeah,
enough.
but he said he favours Paul, so imagine it looks that way from here, doesn't it? I know we're a long way away, but you'd imagine Paul's coming in for
certainly
two
reach
here.
for this. He's got to avoid the short ball of John's.
He's inside it, he's inside
okay.
it. Two.
He's okay. Yeah, 2 to Paul.
Just a word on the referee as well, Mr. DT Evans.
Oh, legend.
I think he's the best referee in the sport. I think he's a fantastic referee. Yeah.
Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree.
What a great guy as well. Lovely gentleman. Yeah. Got an awful lot of time for Dave.
And he's just right in terms of when you want him, he'll step in.
Otherwise,
he'll let you get on with it. And he's got a good eye.
Very good eye. You can trust him, can't you?
Yeah. You can trust his judgment. He's very rarely wrong, and that's a skill in itself.
Yeah. I'm a big believer as well, Roger. I think a good referee is seen and not heard, really, on the whole. Yeah. You let the players sort of deal with the game themselves, don't you? Especially when they're at this standard. You know, we all play this game. We know how to play this game, and you can almost manage the game yourself, really, can't you, at this level?
Yes, you can.
And Dave's well aware of that. But again, if he's needed, you can trust him.
He lets the players get on with it unless he's needed. Yeah. So 2 to Paul. So he needed that just to keep in touch with John, and again,
I mean, he has won a lot of ends in the corners, but I don't think you'll see. And like I said to you at the start, I don't think you'll see Paul go any further than what he's played here. You know, if he's trying a tactic that some clown commentating does this a bit, doesn't he? Playing to the middle of the game back. And wondered if he can catch John on this. It's funny to say that I've just played John last week in the Fleetwood.
Yes.
A couple of times, and then obviously playing this game, I ended up having a bit of success against John. We played in the final of a comp last week,
right?
And but again, I think there's a difference in deliveries and bowls, kind of thing.
And, how were the greens at Fleetwood then? Were they okay?
They were okay. They were right. Yeah, they weren't too bad. I don't think the surface of any of them were as good as what we've played on tonight. To be honest with you, but no, they weren't. They weren't too bad. It was just a bit of miserable week weather-wise, really, which spoilt it a lot, really. Yeah.
That's an uncharacteristic ball from John there. With Paul lying one, and he's looking
he's given
for
a two there. Yeah, very poor.
So 8-9. No, John will want to forget that end quickly and reset.
Well, it just shows you in this game, Roger, as well. I mean, John's grafted for the first 15 minutes of this final, 20 minutes to get a 9-4 lead, and then straight away within 2 ends, 2 bad ends, 4 no balls, and he's thrown it away. He's back to 9-8, and the game can change very quickly, can't it?
Oh, big shift in momentum. Just as you say, it can be just an end, a bowl, a bit of luck, and momentum just shifts. So
the only thing I would say tonight, I don't know if you'd agree, I think the crowd have been quite quiet tonight. I think we've had a reasonable turnout, really.
Yes.
Especially considering the festival was only put on sort of a last minute kind of thing. And so there's not as many here for the Callum.
Because that affected the numbers attending the festival week.
Yeah, naturally. But I still think, like you said, the attendance hasn't been too bad. But normally the Welsh lot are quite loud here, aren't they?
Yeah.
The last couple of years
I don't think the weather's helped. The fact that it's blustery and
it's very windy, hasn't it?
Few people probably they're looking at the weather, thinking, "Oh, am I going to get soaked?" And
surely now this is time for John to go down his edge. What do you reckon, Roger?
I think so. I agree. He's going back to plan 8. This has served him so well. This edge.
The amount of people every time he comes this way, the first time they come down here, he catches them underneath. But the one thing he always catches them is short. Everybody's short, aren't they?
They are.
Because
they are.
now the last 9 foot's really uphill, isn't it?
It is.
He doesn't look it.
Yeah.
And I wonder if he catches Paul short. He has done. There you go.
Done it again. Yeah. Welcome to this edge, Paul. You've got to quickly adjust.
Needs a clear run now, John. Got to pair up here, really. It's imperative he
good
pairs
pace.
up.
It's good pace with the clear.
Yeah, 2 good ones.
Yeah.
No, Paul hasn't really got much of a shot, really. He's got a nice draw in. Put 6 foot.
He's further.
He's a lot further, yeah. Needs a clear run, that's a problem.
Well, he's picked the jack. Has he got enough of it, though?
May have been quite fortunate there, Roger. It was going to go out and leave 2, wasn't it, with a miss?
I think it was. I think it was.
I think from here, from John's body language,
I think he's got
says
enough
it's
of
won
it.
Yeah. John's.
Yeah, the body language.
Maybe not. No, John's. I think John's asking for one. Might be wrong.
I think they'll measure it.
Yeah.
Oh, one to John.
Yeah.
Yeah, well spotted, Callum. Well spotted. It's back along this edge now.
They go down into the dip and then an uphill finish a little
Yes.
bit the last yard or so. But John's not gone so far with the jack here. I think he's probably trying to catch Paul maybe a yard, 2 foot pass with his lead. You think, Roger? Or
yes, I think so.
on purpose, he's dropped the jack a bit short there, hasn't he?
And he always puts the ball in the way. So you sort of then think, right, I've got to adjust my land a little bit because that ball's right in my line. Because he's got past it. That was a good ball. Amount of times I've seen people go into the back of short balls along that.
Yeah.
On there.
I agree with you entirely. It's further. It's JB.
Yeah.
Underneath.
Just underneath. So it's important for Paul to win this end. So he's line 1, looking for 2. Be really happy if he gets another.
It's a bit sluggish, yeah. A missed chance, really. Could have paired up there.
Yeah. So not too much damage done along that edge for Paul. So he'll want to change that mark now and maybe come to the middle of the green again where he caught John out.
He probably will do, won't he? Yeah. I always thinking it just going back on the end of that last end there, Roger. I always thinking those kinds of instances, you're always better off being too far than short.
Yes.
You know, Paul had nothing to lose there for being a yard over, really, did he? You know.
No. And
sometimes not pairing up those things can be the difference at the end of the game, can't it?
Can you look back? You look back and when you think, where did I lose that game? And it's invariably a short ball when you should have been up. And that's it, isn't it?
Bad lead from Paul. He's probably 2 foot short, just off a road, isn't he? But he's caught John short, hasn't he?
Yes, I think he has.
Yeah. Like you mentioned earlier, the screen's just starting to slow down a little bit and drag a bit now, isn't it?
Yeah, and the fading light and doesn't. Yeah, it's all about feel, isn't it now?
You always know when Paul likes one. He starts bouncing them in. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he's played a really good ball. Well balled. Yes, it's 2 John. What would you do here, Callum? Just play a reacher?
I'd be playing the forehand drive. Yeah, I would be.
Yes, I thought you would. When you got 2 targets, excessive weight. Oh, John, in fairness, John's played the.
I know what you're saying, but I just think them kind of bowls can slip and slide a bit.
Yeah,
You don't know whether they're going to slightly peg up 6 inch or. I would have been, absolutely. I'd have been.
Get
I've
one.
been attacking the head with the excessive weight. I would have been, absolutely.
Yeah. That's what I like when I watch you. You rewrite the rules of what you should do. You do.
Yeah.
And
sometimes though, just something like that can just change the game as well, can't it? You know, if you hit the jack, you can shift it 10 yards one way, 10 yards the other, so you're playing a different mark or whatever if someone's got you on a mark. And sometimes as well, the amount of times where I've done it and I've killed the end, and it can deflate your opponent, can't it?
And also with the way you make contact with the jack in particular, it can change the end completely. So being on a mark that they're happy with, all of a sudden they can be like 15 yards away on a completely different piece of land.
John slipped up massively there because Paul's caught himself. I think he's too far with this, as well. I think he's coasting with this,
I think you're right.
Yeah, he is. Oh, what a bad end from Paul here. He's given John a cheap 2 here.
Yes.
It's a bad lead, wasn't it? And I didn't think that JB had really punished the lead, but he has done, and it's really an automatic 2, really, this isn't it?
An 11-12. Paul will be disgusted with himself there because he was.
He'd be really annoyed, wouldn't he? Because he's just got back in the game.
Yeah.
He's been 4 or 5 behind. He's just got back to within 1, and then straight away, all the hard work starts all over again. Now he's given 2 away, 3 behind. John's got the jack. John plays a good lead, and suddenly you're thinking, oh, here we go again. I've got to do all that hard work again. It's you can see, I think he's hands on his hips, so you can tell Paul's
and he's led out, and then John's. No, I thought he was going to go back up the edge, but he's obviously decided I'll
go a distance.
I'm going to lead. I'm going to lead in these corners.
I think he's more comfortable in the corners than Paul. Again, probably more green knowledge as well, more than anything. He knows what he can do with them.
And this time of the evening, this is a long way.
I don't know if you mentioned it as well, Roger, tonight, but again, I'd like to thank Blue Border.
Oh,
I think all the lads have done a great job here.
Brilliant job.
And again, it's greatly appreciated by all the players and everybody else. I think they do a superb job.
It's a privilege to work with these boys, and they're so professional.
Yeah.
For what is something they do out of the kindness of their hearts.
Yeah.
And I can't speak highly enough about the boys at Blue Border and the coverage and what they've put on YouTube to promote our game.
Yeah.
I think it's exceptional coverage.
Yeah, no, honestly, I think Sam and Tom do a brilliant job.
They do.
Not quite sure about Richard Hodgson, but yeah. I'm only joking. Two good balls
Sam,
in.
Tom, Richard, and Duncan's with them as well. Brilliant.
Duncan,
Absolutely brilliant.
The best bookie in the world.
Yes,
Duncan Reeves.
I'm looking forward to spending time with him at the Alaman next month. Are you going over?
I am,
September
absolutely.
Festival?
I'll be going with John, with JB. We'll be going
Yeah.
together. Oh, it's a bad bowl from Paul here. I think he's
forward to you buying me a drink there. Then.
I'll buy you, yeah, absolutely.
John, another 2 to John in, and all of a sudden from 11-12 there's a bit of daylight again.
Yeah, another couple of cheap twos there from Paul Bailey. He's just shed a couple of cheap twos there, hasn't he, with John? And John again's got a bit more daylight now. He'll be looking to go in for the kill now. What are the next
John's
next end
thinking
or
all
two?
the time now in terms of silhouettes. I think he's set this jump a bit better this time.
As long as he's not chopped it off. He's gone deep, hasn't he, with it?
He's gone deep. He's gone
Very
deep.
deep.
It's fine now.
It's alright.
In the evening.
And he's gone very deep this time.
Yeah. I think he's creamed this ball out.
I think he likes it, you know.
Yeah.
I think this could be a good one.
Yeah. Absolutely. Got that away lovely.
Wow.
Yeah. Excellent ball.
Brilliant lead that is, yeah. Paul doesn't like this when he let it go, but I'm not sure if it's that far away. Is he maybe a bowl narrow, Roger, or not?
Yes, I think it is, and I think it's going to climb up now.
Yeah.
That was all that was wrong with it, really.
Maybe 2 foot short, was it? I don't know, but
yes, so probably.
Difficult to tell when we're so far away, but it looks maybe a 2 foot short and just a bowl inside. See, again, this is where you can get lured into following John's bowls, because look at this bowl now; it's feeding back. It's not pegging anywhere, is it?
Not going anywhere. No. Those are hard balls to beat.
And he plays a lot of these marks, John does, on greens where they suit his.
Yes.
They suit the bias of his bowls, don't they?
Into things. But this is going to climb again now. It has to be a perfect length.
And you can see
it's gone now. It's another 2 to John, I think.
Paul will know about John's bowls. Obviously, they've played each other dozens of times, but again, even those things sort of frustrate you a little bit. You know, when Paul's maybe going a bowl outside John's, but he's still ended up inside his bowls.
Yes.
You know, you then sort of questioning where you actually set your bowls, don't you?
Yeah, you do, and it just gets in your head, and then your length goes. And that's what happened there with Paul. Just lost his length
straight away, like you said, from 11-12. He's just shed 3 twos, 3 bad twos, and 18-11. The game's got away from him, and he's got a lot to do now to get back. John seems to have whizzed this lead.
He has whizzed this.
Going to go 6-7 foot passes it.
Yeah, so a chance for Paul now, and he'll need to step in and take it.
Yeah, I think this is last chance. He's got to really punish this lead.
Yes,
and he's going to win the end, but it's not going to punish it, is it? It's not going to be a good one.
It's counting at the moment, but I think John's got other ideas now.
It's 2 yard off, isn't it? So you'd fancy John's going to put one in there. This is the winner.
Yeah, here's the winner. It's still
again,
4 foot.
Beatable. 4 foot all round.
And the way Paul's been playing tonight, you should fancy
this, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
you'd fancy this as a certainty.
Yeah,
it looks a winner all day as well, doesn't it?
It does. Pace is good.
Yeah, can't fail.
Yeah, good ball. I think this is the last chance. So 18-12.
18-12, 12-18. I think he's got to go really short for me, Roger. I think he's got to go bare minimum and try and catch John.
Yeah.
Try and find a little ridge or something and swing him with the right hand and left hand just over the crown. Bare minimum, I think it's got to be your way forward, really. So like I said to you, Paul wants to play this kind of length everywhere, doesn't he? He seems to have quite a lot of success. I didn't watch all the game, but he seems to have quite a lot of success going down to where he's gone now against Jack Dyson in the semi-final.
He did, and, he pulled out some big balls against Jack, because Jack was he was asking questions of him, but he couldn't quite get back to.
He's on a road here. I don't know what his pace is.
It's
stopped short, isn't it? What
again,
a good road
it's that
he's
change
on.
of pace of the green.
Yeah. Well, you know it's the downhill, the last sort of 6 foot down there, don't you?
So
John again's gone on a really narrow line here. And his bowl has just fell back to the jack.
Yeah. He'll stroke that out.
He's on a lot wider line, a hell of a lot wider line. It's too wide, I think. Yeah.
It's always too far as well. It's not getting that's just purely green knowledge.
That's completely agree with you, Roger. That is all down to green knowledge. John will try and poke one in. He's certainly far enough. There's no doubt about that. He's got this out extremely well. I think he might be defarming. I thought he got that out well.
Yes, just got it out a little bit too clean. But one and Jack, and he's on 19. Not a disaster for John, especially
Probably come
if
back
he can
into
lead.
this corner, do you think, by us?
I would say so. He played.
His finger pairs.
And he'll want to go deep into the corner, I think.
So.
Where it gets a bit awkward with the balls. They can just
don't get me wrong, the conditions are very difficult tonight, being so blustery, and it can be hard, but the good thing is, I suppose, for the competition is that at least it's stayed dry.
Yes, be miserable. Be miserable if it was raining. So we're very grateful that the bowling gods have played ball with us this evening and kept the weather dry. You've had a few soakings this season, haven't you, Callum?
Absolutely, yeah. Too many.
Waterproofs on and off all the time.
What a good lead from JB here.
Great lead.
Fantastic
Great lead from John.
3 inches short.
I think it's looking dark.
On the rain break. Paul looks to be on a good road here, but I think he's short.
Oh, it's a good effort.
Good line as well, really. But
football just
2 foot short.
Reach. And John, he's smelling blood now. It wouldn't surprise him if he puts another one there.
No, I think he might pair up now, yeah.
Just playing well. And I was hearing around the green, he hasn't been too happy with his form this season.
No, he's not very happy, no.
Somebody of his quality, form is only temporary. We always say class is permanent. And
he said to me, we were only having a chat last week at Fleetwood, and like I said, we ended up playing each other in the final one. And I didn't know, because I know you have a lot of one-dayers around this area. He said this is the first season so far he hasn't won a competition.
Which is unbelievable, isn't it, for John?
So it might just end in about
John's line 2 in a couple of seconds time. Line 2. Oh, what a ball! What a ball!
Just one, one for Paul Bailey.
Yeah, one for Paul. And John looks as if a bit perplexed with that, but that was a well played ball. No, it was a well played ball.
Far enough, wasn't it? Far enough
on
in
the
the
road,
area.
far enough, reaching up, giving it every chance. Yeah.
This is the last chance, Roger.
It is.
Now he's played the shorter mark, hasn't he? Still going further than I thought he'd go, but yeah.
This is where he's got to stand them on the jack now.
Not there, is he? Roger? Put it down quite light, or is he okay?
I think it'll get a run off the crown.
I thought he was,
but you're
2
right.
foot short on a good line as well. Not good enough. You've got to put it nearer than that.
No.
Fancy John to lick that, wouldn't you?
Got
to get past it though.
Oh, it might have wriggled. Yes,
might have just wriggled in.
Yeah, it might have wriggled past it.
Put it down light again, Roger. He's further now.
Yeah, he's further. It's got the trip.
He's in the back of his own or not? No, good ball.
No, it's a good ball.
Good shot.
Could be 2 there. Oh, only 1. John's playing a positive ball here. Looking at something. No, Tannis has put the jack, and
I think he's
halved the jack. So I think it is just the 1 to John.
1 to JB for me.
1 to John, I think.
Yeah.
Let's kick that one in. Yeah, big ball that.
I think the Welsh crowd thought he'd got 2 there, but he hasn't. He's just got the 1. He still needs another 1 per game.
So I think he'll be back down into this corner. He's been serving him well. That's where he's gone, into this corner. He knows so well.
He's been very consistent in this, Craig, Robert. And obviously it's his 10th year now he's been running. John seems to have done really well in it every year, to be fair.
Yes.
So I know he's won at the last 2, and this could potentially be 3 on the trot, but he's been in a few finals as well, hasn't he? He's been in
Oh,
finals
he
about
has.
3 or 4 times. So
And
it's
it was becoming sort of like he was wondering whether he was ever going to win it.
Yeah.
And isn't it funny?
You get the one,
when you
and
get
then
the breakthrough,
they'll-
and then
yeah,
that's it, and then the
absolutely.
belief is there, and he's dominated it these last.
He's come into this corner and just
3
napped Paul a yard short
Yeah.
again, hasn't he?
Yeah,
He's going to pair up now with a clear run. He's got a good one here.
if he gets a clear,
It's a good one, yeah. Paired up.
he's wriggled past it. That's very awkward for Paul now.
Yeah,
Well,
there's not really a lot to strike at, I would have thought.
No.
You can't see the jack.
I think
It's 2 down,
this
so he's got
time
to draw in, I
John's-
think.
John's weight may be
Yeah,
over.
I think
he'd
he-
have to play a dead one.
He'd have to
Absolute
play a
dead
good
one.
bowl here. It's not a bad effort, though, this.
No, it is
very,
a good
very good
effort.
effort, this. What a great effort.
Oh, what a ball! What a ball!
Gone out.
Oh, that's just gone by. Yep. It's game to
Well
John
done.
Bailey.
Well done to John Bailey. You can see-
21-13 win.
I think you could see the relief there at the end,
Yes,
Roger, with him
yes.
winning that tonight. I think it meant
Yeah,
a lot to John.
fabulous.
Yeah.
It did.
Yeah.
So a fabulous evening. Thank you for your company, Callum, in the final here. It's always a pleasure to spend time with you, and good luck tomorrow. And let's see you back here next year, and we'll have another fun evening. And
Absolutely, Roger. Yeah, well, thank you for having me, and I've had a great night here in North Wales. And well done to John Bailey, the winner. But I look forward to coming back next year.
yeah,
But
and
thank you.
well done to everybody for making this evening possible, especially the organiser Dan Jones, Rhos Park Bowling Club, all the sponsors, and last but not least Blue Border Sports,
Yeah.
who have made this such a spectacle.